Hey guys, this is Spark Plus Ultra here, and this is part 2 on What If Asta Had Hsien-Ko, Endless Metal. And I hope you like this video, and hope you subscribe. While Asta and, we're going back to the church, Hsien-Ko was with Asta as a little paper, and they go and talk to Priest Orion and Sister Lily. And Father Orion says, "Oh, Asta, how's it going? Did you get your grimoire?" And Asta says, "Well, I got something interesting." And Father Orion says, "Interesting? Is this true? And says, "Yeah, it seems pretty unique. Unlike any other grimoire I see." Huh? And Sister Lily was surprised as well. And then Asta says, "Come on out, Hsien-Ko, or Lele." And Lele comes out and says, "Meow." And Father Orion was surprised on seeing a girl coming out of Asta's paper that was on his head. And Asta says, "This is my twin sister." And Father Orion says, "Huh? You're kidding. There's no way a grimoire is a sister." And Hsien-Ko says, "Well, about that." And she explains it to him. "Oh, that is interesting." And Hsien-Ko says, "Well, I'm part Chinese, and my brother is, well, yeah." And Asta says, "I guess she's adopted at the same age as I am." And Father Orion says, "This is interesting, very interesting." And says, "So, Asta, I feel like there's gonna be more surprises to you." And Asta was confused on what he meant. And says, "It's not your magic, it's your sister," quote. And Hsien-Ko says, "Yeah, you're right on that." Feeling the dumbbell weight on his head. And Hsien-Ko says, "But you're wrong as well." And Hsien-Ko says this, "Something is interesting. I never felt this demonic aura." And Asta was confused on what she meant. And Hsien-Ko says, "Oh, it's never mind. By the way, you need to practice on the magic we're bond together." And Asta says, "Oh yeah, let's do that!" And trained on their magic, and Asta training on his sparring routine. And Hsien-Ko says, when they're ever done sparring, "You really want my magic and training, don't you?" And Asta says, "Yeah, you're like the best at this. You can help me on some sit-ups and some pulling on rock." And Hsien-Ko says, "Well, you are my brother, I guess, but that doesn't make me a tool, And Asta says, "Huh? I never considered you a tool." And Hsien-Ko says, "Not what it means." And Asta says, while going towards Hsien-Ko, saying, "Hsien-Ko, I consider you family. I know we haven't met for a long time, but you are my family that I never had." And Hsien-Ko then says, "Gee, you know how to make a girl feel good." And saying that, Asta was confused on what she meant. And Hsien-Ko then says, "Okay, let me show you one of my favorite techniques." And Asta says, "Let's go! I'm willing to try anything." And Hsien-Ko says, "It's a simple task. Luckily, you're strong enough to use my weapons." And Asta says, "Wait, what does that mean?" And Hsien-Ko says, "Here." And then becoming a little paper of grimoire and allowing him to be using for weapons. And Asta says, "Whoa! These things are real!" And Hsien-Ko says, "Yep, my magic can make any metal magic to be real. Those weapons are genuine." And Asta says, "But if your fairy want a possession, I'll do it only because of reasons. And Asta says, don't worry, you can rely on me to do the work. And Hsien-Ko says, that's not what I mean, Asta. And Asta says, but you're strong as me. That's because Hsien-Ko then cuts him off. It's mostly because I work just as hard as you. Even in magic grimoire, I have the ability to become stronger. And I'm undead. I'm your junk chi. That means I can use any known chi. And Asta says, chi? And Hsien-Ko says, it's your life force. And Asta says, okay. And Hsien-Ko says, idiot. And Asta says, hey, I'm trying to understand some of your culture. Don't give me crap. With a very untoned look, Hsien-Ko says, just don't use my spirit possession if it's killing. And Asta says, huh? Why do you not want me to do that? And even if Asta wanted to, and Hsien-Ko says, when I kill somebody, she explains in a very, very serious tone. When I kill somebody, I become much more to a ruthless beast, a monster. And Asta says, that's why you were having no intent on killing him, left that guy living. And Hsien-Ko says, yes, but don't think this is a good thing. I am prone to violence. And Asta says, no problem. You can leave all the heavy work you got onto me. And Hsien-Ko says, well, you're determined. I gotta give you that, bro. And then they go to Magic Nights, and with Yuno as well. And Yuno says, so, Asta and Lele, how's the training go? And Asta says, it worked like a charm. And Hsien-Ko says, strong as ever. And Yuno says, good. Don't want an insect to be crushed. And Asta says, hey, that's not even funny. Come on. And Hsien-Ko then laughs. And Asta says, you're laughing as well, Hsien-Ko. And Hsien-Ko says, sorry, but that was fun. And Asta says, well, it do fit the sister role well. And Asta then says, well, where did these birds come from? And those are swallowtail. Yuno said, they feed off any weak energy magic. And then the birds don't come across Yuno and Asta. And Asta says, alright, I'm gonna be the Wizard King! And some of the civilians were whispering on what he said. And Lele says, well, it's a start. And goes Magic Knight's training. And Asta was having a little hard time trying to fly with broom, trying to get it up. And Yuno has ease getting it up. Then Segi tried to be a guy that tries to make himself look better and says, well, you might be in trouble. Why don't you? And when he tries to say something, Asta says, wait a minute, I got it! Oh yeah! I'm flying! And Hsien-Ko says, yeah, because lucky for you, I have the magic to help you. Thanks! Woo! Look at me, Yuno! And going on hand top on it. And Yuno says, Asta, well done. And Segi says, and tries to humiliate Asta, but doesn't work, because he can conjure up some metal and use them in certain situations. But on the other one, it doesn't count. And then Segi tries to humiliate him again, but in the battle test, Segi says, I'll give you a one shot of trying to destroy my dome. And Asta says, sure. And Hsien-Ko says, is he really? Oh my god, I hate him already. Here, use this. And then Hsien-Ko made a simple but a dome that was made from her mat. And Siggy says, what are you gonna do with that thing? Make noise? And when he made his dome, and he mockingly tells Asta to try to one, and when he says that, Asta then says, alright, using all of his strength, and Hsien-Ko says, now, and hitting the gong, and repelling the attack of the sound, and going through the air at such a blinding speed that nobody could see it. And then the dome breaks in a one single shot, and Siggy gets pushed back and hit by an amount of force with that sound attack. And Asta says, well, what was that? And Hsien-Ko explains to Asta, that was my Hsien-Ko. It reflects the user's magic with double the force. And Asta says, whoa, that's so cool! And Hsien-Ko says, it's a simple, but it's not very effective if it's physical, but it works on magic a lot. And Hsien-Ko then teases Asta, it works on a simple-minded person like you. And Asta says, hey, what's this? Your magic is awesome! And Hsien-Ko then chuckles. Looks like he doesn't need to figure out nothing. One-shot magic, my frickin'. And Asta says, are you angry? And Hsien-Ko says, what do you look like? I am angry. And Asta says, whoa, 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 easy there, sis. And then the judges look closer at the magic that Asta made. And it was such a unique sight. The crown was cracked down, and the magic dispelled Siggy's defense without any damage to him. And it's like a anti-magic, but without any of the drawbacks, which interests all the captains on what Asta did. And now, and Asta got his clover star on that, and is obviously in the same captain. And then there's Asta. His magic was weird to put. Even the captain, well, except Yami, who finds his magic to be weirdly strange. And he has a demonic presence that scares him a bit, which he likes. So Yami chose him, and Yami gets Asta and asks Finral to make a teleport to Black Bulls. And they went into the portal and go to the Black Bull's space. And all the people introduce themselves. Magma, Lucky, Charmy, Gray, Vanessa, and the pervert nosebleeder girl, boy, or sister lover. They introduce themselves, even Finral. And Asta introduces himself. Keeps the little secret on Hsien-Ko just for a trust exercise a bit. And then Magma says, alright, now you're gonna have a test on the Black Bulls. Oh yeah! And that was a half-ass out of his own thought. And Hsien-Ko says, seriously? And thinking that to herself. And Asta looks as pumped as ever. And Hsien-Ko says, you really are too easy to manipulate, you know that? And by the way, didn't you notice the bird? And Asta says, no, but I think he looks as awesome. And Hsien-Ko says, looking at the bird, sure, why not? At a very look, she doesn't really care about the bird, but she does agree it looks comfortable on its head. And Magma does the test with his fireball, with all the guild's members looking ahead. And Asta then creates his Hsien-Ko's gong, And Magma says, "Oh yeah! Let's do this!" And throws the fireball at Asta. And Asta then hits the gong. And flying it back, Magma says, "Whoa! Hey! I didn't want a fireball to my home base!" And Asta says, "Well, I got many tricks up my sleeve." And Hsien-Ko says, "Thanks for the admiration." And then Magma says, "Alright, let's do this." And throws another, and another, and another. And Asta says, "Well, I don't think I can shoot these back quickly with this." And then Hsien-Ko says, "Use my blades." And Asta then creates Hsien-Ko's blades. "Thanks, Lele." And then swishes the fireballs. "Wow! That's awesome!" And all the guild members were amazed. And Asta was getting fired up. And Yami then thinks, his magic is reliant on interesting ways to counter or use metals. "Hey, I think you got spunk, kid." And Asta says, "Really? Well, I guess we can introduce you to another member." And Yami says, "Another?" And Asta says, "Hsien-Ko!" And Hsien-Ko then says, yeah, and comes out of her grimoire state. And Finral goes all look on the girl. "Haha! Well, what a beautiful woman she is. Mind if I have your hand?" And Asta says, Finral, I don't think..." And Lele punches him in the face and then scoffs. And Asta says, "Right, she does not like that." And Finral says, "Oh, I did not expect that." And Nessa looks at Lele and says, "Judging from your look, you look as pretty as any girl that I've seen." And Lele says, "Oh, you're too kind." And Lucky says, "Wow, you're powerful. Mind if I fight you?" And Lele says, And Magma says, "So you were the one that had magic with him? That's awesome!" And Lele gets a little embarrassed. And Asta says, "Yeah, she can be very genuine when you meet her. She is pretty strong. She's as strong as me." And all the Black Bulls were having a good time with Asta and Lele, or Hsien-Ko. And that's where I'm ending this video. I hope you liked this video and hope you subscribe. See you next time, Plus Ultra.